Hi guys, welcome back to Boxing with TT. Today we'll be talking about Mr. Jack John Broughton. Sorry, we have a small little appearance today. He's not feeling well, so I have to try to do two things at one time. But bear with me, okay? So Jack John Broughton was born July 5th, 1704, in a small village. Okay, the village was called Barrington, Gloucester, in England. Okay, he had a younger sister by the name of Rosie, and his mother passed away actually while he was an infant, and this caused dad to become a big alcoholic. Okay, some people say he was violent. Some people just say that he just gave up and just that was just that, which caused him to lose his career and the respect that he gained from his peers in the community. Okay, he went off and married a worthless woman. That's what the streets are saying. They said that that lady was worthless and the kids ain't like her and she was cool to everybody. Okay, even down to the husband. All right. So at the age of 12, he took his 12-year-old sister Rosie and they left home. Okay, they got about Dodge. They relocated by foot to Bristol, UK. Okay, and they both worked to support each other. And Jack protected the weak people. Okay, so at the age of 18, Rosalie marries and she is happy in life. Okay, she did so go off and marry. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. So now at the age of 21, he is still protecting people. He is still fighting for the weak. Weighing at 196 pounds to 200 pounds, Mr. Broughton stood at 5'11" and a half. And the bully had called that man out in front of the champ, which was James Big, honey. And that was the biggest mistake he could make because he called that man out at the in front of in front of the champ, and he got his behind whooped. And the people, James Figg's camp, noticed that they was fighting, and they asked them, "Hey, do you want to do a match? Do y'all want to fight?" And it was like, "Yeah, sure." The match lasted for 10 rounds. Okay, um, and as the match lasted for 10 rounds, we're going to take this to history, okay? Because he goes to train with James Big in London. Everything that James taught himself, James taught Jack, okay? He taught him how to master the sport. He teaches him how to become the sport, how to do everything. But shit, Mr. Broughton did a little bit more better, honey. Okay, I'm just saying he did a little bit more better. He mastered the sport. He studied the sport. He became the first student of Mr. James Spade. Okay, of the school. Jack Broughton was still undefeated by this time. Okay, he's still undefeated. No man wanted to fight him. But George Taylor was also undefeated, and he was the self-proclaimed champion. Okay, after James Spade passed away, George Taylor takes over James Figg's business pretty much, and Jack is cool with it for the time being. He cool with it. He ain't saying nothing. He like, all right, whatever. Okay, so they're still undefeated. I mean, and nobody wanted to fight this man. Okay, and he became England's champion. Okay, but George Taylor, honey, he is a hater. Okay, he is the capital H. He put the in the R. Okay, he is a big hitter. He tries to sabotage everything that Jack has worked hard for. By this time in 1741, Jack has powerful allies, and his allies don't believe in none of that stuff that that George is talking about. They know it's all cap, so they're not even looking at it. Okay. Meanwhile, George Taylor does not want no smoke at all with Jack, but he is looking for people who want smoke. But sorry, you don't want no smoke. They don't want no smoke, and you still looking for somebody that wants some smoke. Ain't nobody going to do. Ain't nobody touching him. He is untouchable at this moment. Ain't nobody messing with him right now. Okay, so he is still undefeated, even in 1743. So from 1725 to 1743, this man is untouchable. He is untouchable for real. Okay. Yes, he was untouchable. Mind your business. You don't need to know what I'm talking about. So, um, he sends a letter to the champ, okay? Because that's how they communicated back in the day. It wasn't no phones like you could pick up the phone and be like, hey, bro, I want to fight. No. He picks up the letter and he sends the champ a letter and he is going off on the champ, okay? He is telling the champ whatever it is that he think he wanted, his opinion about him. And the champ and the Duke of Cumberland is like, bro, all right, okay. You don't want this smoke, but I'm going to give it to you any damn way. All right. So the champ laughs at him, honey. And the Duke of Cumberland actually says, hey, accept it. So they accept it. They fight in front of King George II and more powerful people, okay? The Captain Godfrey. That's his name. Godfrey, right? Yeah. So they fight in front of the champ. They fight in front of a whole kings, queens, royalty people, whoever, honey. And they actually fight in George Taylor's school. Okay, the men square up and they fight. It's a 40-minute match, and hits um Jack hits George underneath his chest, right underneath his chest. And he didn't move, honey. That man was unconscious, okay? And Jack was like, oh, what did I do? I didn't kill this man, like, because he's not moving, okay? He's just laying there, okay? The man is not moving. Jack wins because the match ends to him not moving, and then Jack states he's no longer fighting because he believes that he killed this man because he was not moving at all. He wasn't pronounced dead, but he was just that unconscious that he could not move. He couldn't do nothing, okay? So while this is going on, George is unconscious for up to several hours. The doctors are like, okay, he's going to make a recovery, but I don't know the real damage that's being done. Well, he had two broken ribs, okay? He had internal bleeding, and he had a lot of other damages done with him, too, from the hands of Jack Broughton, okay? The champ is worried, okay? The champ is like, oh my God, what have I done? Now the streets is talking that Taylor is alive. And George is like, okay, I need to go check on him. I need to make sure that he is okay. Okay. And he calls the house frequently. He calls. So one day he decided to pop up. Okay. The nurse is like, okay, nobody is to see him. And Mr. Bruin is like, look, I need to see him. Okay. I need to make sure that this man is okay. They go to the house. They wind up squashing the beef. Okay. And they become very good friends up until Mr. Taylor passes away. Okay. Now, being that he was the cause of this man's death, he decided, I don't want no one else to die in the hands of the ring anymore, especially not my hands, okay? So, being that once again, he still was a champ, and once again, he still had powerful allies. With these powerful people on the sideline, the Duke of Cumberland plays a major key part on making these rules the Broughton Rules. I'm not saying the Broughton Rules because it was famous to say, honey. I'm saying the man put down rules, okay? It was legally called the Broughton Rules, okay? And the Broughton Rules was basically just to protect the people in the ring. And there were several rules, but I'll give you 3 examples, okay? So if your opponent was down, you could no longer continue on pounding on them. You had to let them stand up on their feet, okay? They had a 30, the next rule was a 30 count, okay? If your opponent wasn't up within 30 count second rule, then it was a DQ. No other people could get in the ring. That was the 3rd rule. And the 4th rule was no punching below the belt. They approved these rules in 1743 while he was still a champion. And that's when these rules set into play, okay? But as he gained power, he also gained more heat. You see, the Duke put in $300 for the school, okay? The Captain Godfrey put in 200. The public donated pretty much 300. So the school was able to become open, okay? And they don't know, the school name is not known, but it's near Alfred Street. I don't know where the location is at. Not the source. There's no source that says it. He teaches, he coaches, and he promotes events because once again he said he wasn't going to fight anymore. So even though he wasn't fighting in the ring, he still participated and he still had a deep hand inside of the game. Okay, and he also introduced soft cotton boxing gloves. Okay, to try to help people without doing sprawling. Okay, he also introduced mufflers. Mufflers was like the headgear, and it could protect this pretty much whole area right here. Okay, so and that's what he was doing because once again he said he wasn't fighting anymore. But we have Mr. Jack Slack. Oh, Mr. Jack Slack does not like Mr. Broughton at all. And he pretty much doesn't like him because of his rules. See, did you remember me saying that 30 count rule? What had happened was Jack had gotten into a fight and he couldn't get up. He passed that 30-second rule. So he lost that fight. Okay? And when he lost that fight, he was like, damn it. If it wasn't because of these dang on rules, honey, I'll still be undefeated because Jack Slack was also undefeated in his bracket as well. So he like, if it wasn't for these rules, sir, I'll still be champ. But you done messed me all up. So I'm going to get revenge on you, sucker. I'm going to get you, sucker. Okay? And they meet. Okay? They meet. And, honey, it was a whole hot diggity dog mess. You hear me, y'all? And they saw each other. It was at a dinner. And Jack like, oh, there you go right there. Let me talk to you real quick, sir. And Jack makes a whole skeptical out of everything, okay? He is disrespecting the champ, okay? He is throwing plates. He is just talking to him all crazy. And the champ is just sitting there cool, calm, and collected like, okay. All right, I'll see you. I'm going to see you. And Jack picks up a knife, honey. Yes, honey. He tried to kill George, honey. He picks up a knife and, well, wait, hold on. Because before he picked up the knife, honey, Jack Slack got so disrespectful that Jack, the champ, okay, he takes his horse whip and he gashes him right across that damn leg. Yes, sir, sit down. You're doing too much. We at a dinner table. We at a dinner party. And you sitting up here acting like a whole fool. So I'm gonna whoop you like I whip my horse. Pat right on that leg. And he's short enough there, use a cut on his leg. So of course now Slack is embarrassed. Totally, completely embarrassed. And so he went to go, that's when he went to go pick up that knife, honey. And he went to go pick up that knife. And his team is like, whoa, sir. You're doing too much. No, sir, you will not be about to stab up the champ inside no dang on diner. They take the belt, they took the knife from Slack. Okay, they're able to get the knife out his hand. Okay, he is escorted out of the building, and Slack is like in his feelings. Okay, and his boys is like, bruh, you see what he did to you? Sir, you gotta fight him. Yes, you do. You have to fight him because he done made a whole mockery of you. You are undefeated. You are that guy. Sir, we need you to fight him. And baby, they started putting them $50 bets up. I don't know how much $50 was back in 1725 UK, but he put some bets up. And when he put them bets up, honey, Jack was like, okay. But let me explain something to you. Okay, they're putting money on my head, but I won't be disrespected by no young punk, nobody. Okay, talk about Jack Broughton, not Jack Slack. Okay, so now the fight is set up. All right, the fight is set up, and at this time, the champ has not fought in a very long time. Okay, he trained every day, but he has not stepped in a ring for a very long time. Okay. Jack Slack is 29 years old, okay? And Jack B is now 49 years old, okay? And the match lasted for 14 minutes. And at first, Jack was getting with the young boy. You know, Jack was giving him what he wanted. And then, honey, the Slack said, no, sir, you won't keep disrespecting on me. You will not keep whooping on me. And he socked him in the eye. And when he socked him in the eye, he kept socking him and socking him and socking him, making Mr. Jack B temporarily blind. Okay? Once he goes blind, of course, now That's not funny. The match has to end because he can't see. Okay, so now the match is over. Okay, so he is now defeated. Okay, first loss since he's been fighting. Okay, and now the Duke of Cumberland, mind you, the Duke of Cumberland put money into the school, and he had bets on him too. Mister, the Duke of Cumberland loses 10,000 racks, 10,000 pounds. Okay, and Duke said, "Sir, you cost me my money. I'm closing your school down." And that's exactly what he did. Yes, he did, y'all. He closed that man's school down. But with the school being closed down, Jack opened up a furniture business. Okay, Jack opens up a furniture business, and he is still working on the outside and the inside of the rules. Okay, now the his rules would not be effective. Well, they changed it. Okay, they changed the rules in 1748. Okay, 1784. Okay, and it became the Marquess of Rules, the Marquess Rules. Okay, and in January 8th, 1789, London, UK, Mr. Jack passed away. Okay, and that is the life of Mr. Jack Broughton. Okay, but in 1988, okay, he finally is acknowledged as the champ of England after all that time. Okay, that is ridiculous that it took him to get recognition of what he actually accomplished in 1988. I was already born. Okay, we're talking about somebody that's been fighting since 1725. It's now 1888. Okay, in 1954, he is introduced by the Hall of Fame ring boxing. Okay, he is also known as the father of boxing. Now, with the father of boxing, they give it to two people. They give it to Mr. James Figg, which I explained in my other video, and they also give it to Mr. Jack Broughton. And they give it to Mr. Jack Broughton because he is the one who put down these rules into play. He's the only one I put rules down into play because he wanted to protect other fighters. He didn't want to keep seeing people get hurt. So he decided to put James, he put the batter in the pancake, and Mr. James Broughton, he took that bad boy and he put that thing up in that bakery and he sold that thing, okay? And that's just that right there. Now it is known that he was fast, he was strong, he was smart as heck, he was a great educator. So he actually educated himself. He taught pretty much probably him and his sister. Mind you, he left home at 12. So and they earned an income, okay, to make sure that they was good. So these kids wasn't dumb, okay, especially Jack. Jack wasn't no regular schmegular Joe, okay. And his favorite thing to do was to strike you in your stomach, okay. He mastered blocking and he also mastered striking. And I guess that's probably why Jack Slack thought that it would be a good idea to sock him in his eye. Punk move. Yeah. But honey, it is sad to say that Mr. Jack Slack was the grandfather of the grandchild of Mr. James Figg, honey. Now I don't know how true that is, but if that is true, honey, that's dirty, okay? Because I'm pretty sure that they that he watched him while he was growing up. I'm talking about Slack. I'm pretty sure that Slack watched Jack while he grew up and probably studied his little moves, whatever, and you let this little one thing interfere with, how you felt about him. Or maybe he just never liked him, honey. Maybe he just always had hate in his blood for him. I don't know, girl. But yes, honey, that is the short story of Mr. Jack John Broughton. Mr. Jack John Broughton, even though you're in heaven, I just want to say thank you for everything that you did to the boxing community that still reigns to this day. And if y'all don't believe that what he did reigns to this day, I need y'all to look at these rules. Look at his rules, okay? And then look at the rules of boxing today. Y'all have a good one, honey. Enjoy. You want to say bye-bye? No? You don't want to say bye to the people? No? No? Okay. Okay. Bye, guys. Stay tuned. I'll be coming with you shortly with another Boxing with TT video. Toodaloo.